Welcome back to Hub E, the chill spot to talk all things entertainment. I'm Daniel, here with Tiff.
What is up, guys and gals? We're bringing to you what's hot at the box office today from the past weekend. Coming in at that number 10 spot from the weekend is Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise is still hanging in there, bringing in a total so far of $715 million and around $800,000 just this past weekend. This movie was number 10 last week too, so let's see if he can hold on to a top 10 spot over this next weekend.
It definitely seems like Tom Cruise is going to hold that 10 spot for a long time. But number 9, we have Terrifier. This weekend was its debut, and it brought in around $825,000.
Yeah, so not too bad. I mean, not that great, but it's all good. In that number 8 spot, we have Bros. Now, this was in the number 5 spot last weekend, so it did slip a few. But Bros did bring in just over $2 million from this weekend and $8.5 million so far.
For that 7 spot, it's Barbarian, who was at number 7 position last week as well. So still there, hanging in. It brought in just over $2 million this past weekend.
And number 6, still in those top rankings, even though it did come out in number 4 last week, which is super impressive considering this is not a new movie. It is that re-release. We have Avatar. No doubt a classic. It brought in $6.4 million last weekend, with just a total over $23 million brought in so far.
That's crazy. I can't believe that movie's still bringing in so much money.
I know. I mean, they're like, we're just getting paid. We're getting paid.
Might as well. Let's just re-release everything.
Yeah.
For number 5, Feeling Alive, we've got Don't Worry Darling. Now this movie was number 2 last week, and it dropped to 5 this week. It still brought in over $3.4 million this past weekend. Let's see how long this one can stay on the list.
Yep, and for number 4, and still in the top spot as well, this one's generated a lot of attention. We have The Woman King, dropping just 1 spot from last week. It still brought in an impressive $5.3 million over this past weekend.
I love that name.
The Woman King?
Woman King.
The Woman King. Just sounds strong.
It's like she's above the queen, but she is a queen. I don't know. It's weird. To round out the chart with the top 3 spots, we got Amsterdam. This was a brand new release to the box office this past weekend and generated $6.5 million.
Not too shabby. For number 2, we have another new debut. And you know how rhyming is super fun. Get this, in number 2 spot is Lyle Lyle Crocodile, which makes it even more hilarious, rhyming as well. It brought in over $11 million this past weekend, so let's see how things go. But that's quite a generating funds there.
Yeah. Now drum roll for your number 1 movie at the box office, Smile, bringing in a whopping $17.6 million. That isn't too far off from its opening box office numbers. And shoot, that's even more than some movies have made total so far. I'll be interested to see what happens after this weekend. That one looks scary.
Yeah, that one looks super scary. Probably the best looking one though, I think.
Yeah, I could see it staying at number 1 for a while. If no new movies come through to take its spot.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see that one for sure.
Yeah, definitely have to bring it up next week if you go out and check it out. See if it's a thumbs up, thumbs down, worth spending money on.
Worth losing sleep over, maybe.
Hey.
Some nightmares, it looks like.
That's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you for joining us on the Box Office Review. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Daniel.
We'll catch you next week. Bye.